So in the last class we have learned the kinematic equations for uniformly accelerated motion. So in that, you have drawn the velocity time graph. From the velocity time graph you derived three equations, that are v is equals to u plus at, so which is the basic equation. Next one was s is equals to ut plus half at square, and the third one was v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So these are the three equations or the kinematic equations for uniformly accelerated motion. So we have done derivation for these three equations in our last class. So in this class what are we doing is, we'll derive the same equation, that is kinematic equations for uniformly accelerated motion. But by using the method of calculus. So the only difference between this and this is, here we are using the method of calculus to derive the same equation, that is u is equals to u plus at, v is equals to u plus at, and the second s is equals to ut plus half at square, and third is v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So from these two different methods we are deriving the same equations, and the derivation for this equation is important because these equations or derivation for these equations will be asked in your exams. So now let us start. Our first equation is v is equals to u plus at. So to derive this equation, consider a body moving along a straight line with uniform acceleration a. So here we are again considering the uniform acceleration. So to have the uniform acceleration, what we have to, so next is, by definition, how do we write acceleration? Acceleration can be written as a is equals to dv by dt. Why this is from definition? So the definition of acceleration says the change in velocity with respect to time will give the acceleration. So now from this equation try to take dv. So dv will be equals to what? A dt. So this equation is important for us. Let us call this equation as equation 1. So here let u be initial velocity, v be final velocity at any instant of time, that is t. So now this equation needs to be integrated with the proper limits. So by proper limits I mean, if you are integrating velocity, then the limits needs to be in velocity. If you are integrating time, then limits for this integration should range from time 0 to time t. So now let us integrate the equation. This equation dv is equals to integration of a dt. So now, so the initial velocity is u, final velocity is v, and the initial time is 0, and when the body have the final velocity, the time taken by body will be equals to t. Now with this limits, you have to do the integration. So since there is no v here, so the integration of dv will give you v with the limit range u v. Next, so a here cannot be integrated, so 0 to t dt. Now if you integrate dt, what you will get? V u to v. So these are u v are limits. So v here denotes the velocity, a as usual. So integration of dt will again give you t, like the way we got v here. So now substitute final limit and initial limit in the given value. So this is the final limit. So whenever you do integration, so you will get a value. So you have to substitute final value and initial value, and you have to take the subtraction of that. So here v minus u. So if you substitute v in this, you will get v. If you substitute u in this, you will get u. So the difference is the limits of final limit and initial limit, and a. So here t minus 0. Hope this is clear. Now if I remove the bracket, v minus u is equals to at. If I send this u to this side, what will happen? V is equals to u plus at. So this is what the equation that we needed. So we have derived this equation with the help of calculus, or by integrating the equation v dv is equals to a dt. If you integrate dv is equals to a dt with the proper limits, as I said here, so the proper limits for dv will be u, v, and the proper limits for dt will be 0 to t. So if you integrate this, you will get this equation. So now we have derived the first kinematic equation for uniformly accelerated body by using the calculus method. So now let us move to the second one. So the second equation is S is equals to ut plus half at square. S is equals to ut plus half at square. So S here denotes what? S is a displacement of the body, u is initial velocity, t is time, a is acceleration due to gravity. No, a is just the acceleration. A is just acceleration of the body. So now consider a body which is moving along the straight line with uniform acceleration. So like the way we have considered for the last equation. So here what are you doing? You are considering a body which is moving along a straight line with uniform acceleration A. So if a body is moving along a straight line, the initial displacement of the body will be 0 x 0. So initial velocity is u at time t is equals to 0, and the final position of the body is x with final velocity v at time t is equals to t. So these are the things that you have to know. So from this data which we have here, let us try to derive s is equals to ut plus half at square. So since here is the displacement, let us consider velocity here. So from the definition, what is velocity? Velocity is the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. So this is not distance. It is velocity is not rate of change of distance by time, but velocity is rate of change of displacement by time. So here it is displacement. It is not distance. So if you write dx is equals to what you will get? V dt. So this is the equation when you write this velocity equation in terms of displacement. But from the last equation, so our last equation was what? V is equals to u plus at. So we know the equation for v. If you substitute this here, what you will get? Dx is equals to u plus at multiplied by dt. Is this clear? I am just substituting v here. Then you will get dx is equals to u plus at, which is multiplied by dt. So now dx is equals to u dt plus at multiplied by dt. So let us call this as equation 1. Here what are the variables? There is dx, dt and t dt. Now with the proper limits, we have to integrate this equation. How do you integrate? So integration of dx is equals to u integration of u dt plus integration of at dt. Now let us give the proper limits. So initially where was the body? It is at x is equals to x naught. So at final position it has x is equals to x. So from initial x naught and for final it is x dx. Now so here the variable is dt, so you cannot integrate u, take u outside, dt. So the limit for t is what? So t is starting from 0 and it has ended at t, 0 to t, plus a you cannot integrate, so integration of t to t into dt. So now here again the t is varying from 0 to t. Let us integrate this equation now. So if you integrate dx, what you will get? You get x with limit x naught x. So u remained as usual. So integration of dt will give t 0 to t plus a as usual. So integration of t will give t square by 2 with the limit 0 to t. So integration of dt is t. So like the way we did here, integration of dt is t, but integration of t dt is t square by 2. If at all, if there was integration of t square dt, then what you will get? You will get t cube by 3. So for integration of t power 4 dt, then you will get what? T power 5 by 5. Clear? So now what you have? You have the equation with the initial and final limits. So let us substitute the final minus initial limit. So here x minus x naught, which is equals to u t minus 0 plus a t t square by 2 minus 0 square by 2. So this will give you what? X minus x naught u multiplied by t plus, so 0 by anything is 0, 0 square is 0, so we'll get only t square by 2. So this difference here will give you what? S. So S is equals to ut plus half at square. So this is the second kinematic equation that we have derived using the calculus method. So this is the second equation. So from this equation, if you observe, x can also be written as x naught plus ut plus half at square. So in problems, if they give both initial and final position, then you can use this equation. If they give the displacement, then you can use this equation. So this is the second kinematic equation that we have derived using the calculus method. So now let us understand the third kinematic equation. So our third kinematic equation is v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So for this equation also consider a body moving along a straight line with uniform acceleration A. So here also it is same. So the initial initial position of the body will be x naught and the final position be x, and initially the velocity of the body will be u and final velocity of the body is v. So at time t is equals to 0, the body starts, and when it reaches the point or when it reaches the position x, the time will be equals to t. So from this data again we are supposed to derive v is equals to u square plus 2as. So from the definition of acceleration, again acceleration can be written as dv by dt. So this is the equation for acceleration from the definition of acceleration. So now what you will do is you will just multiply and divide dx for this equation. So dv by dx, which is multiplied by dx, and there is a dt here, so you have to write dt. So if you cancel dx, then what you will be left with? You will be left with dv by dt. So now from the definition of velocity, you know dx by dt will give velocity. So velocity is dx by dt. Substitute that here. dv by dx is multiplied with velocity of the body. Now you have, so if you send dx to this side, what will the equation be? A dx is equals to v dv. So this is the equation that we have needed to integrate and to get the equation v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So now let us integrate this equation with what? With proper limits. So you cannot integrate a here, so the integration of dx, so you can integrate v here because the variable here is dv. So the proper limits for x would be what? So the body is starting from x0 and it has reached the position x. So velocity, so initially the body has velocity u, and finally when it has reached the position x, the velocity of the body was v. So now let us integrate this equation. So a integration of dx is x with the limits x0 to x. So integration of v square will be what? V square. So integration of v will be v square by 2 u v. So a is equals to x minus x0 v square by 2 minus u square by 2. So here a x minus x0. So how can you write this? V square minus u square by 2. So send this to this side. What will be the left hand side equation? It will be 2a x minus x0, which will be equals to v square minus u square. So what was the equation that we are supposed to derive? So we need v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So this needs to be written in terms of as 2as is equals to v square minus u. So if you send this u square to this side, it will become plus v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So we have arrived to the final equation or the third kinematic equation by using the calculus method. So x minus x0 here gives the displacement of the body during the time interval t. So this is the third kinematic equation. So there are three equations which are there. V is equals to u plus at, s is equals to ut plus half at square, and the third is v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So these are the three important equations that you have to understand. So here v denotes the final velocity of the body, u is initial velocity, a is acceleration, t is time, s is displacement. So displacement can be obtained by the difference of x and x0. So now we have done with deriving the kinematic equations with the calculus method. There is one problem which is given in your textbook. So that says a ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity 20 meters per second from the top of a multi-story building. The height of the point from where the ball is thrown is 25 meters from the ground. How high will the ball rise and how long will it be before the ball hits the ground? Take acceleration due to gravity. G is equals to 10 meters per second square. So the question which I have read just now can be solved with the equations that we have derived so far. So we have derived the three equations. Those are known as the kinematic equations. So from that equations we can solve this problem and can find out how long will it be before the ball hits the ground and how high will the ball rise. So in the problem what he is actually telling is, so there is a multi-story building. So let's suppose this be the ground. So there is a building, so which is 25 meters high from the ground. So the height of the building is 25 meters. So he has given the value of height in SI unit, so you need not to worry about changing the unit. So from this building a ball is thrown vertically upwards. So from this building, if you take, a ball is thrown vertically upwards. So let us call this point as A and this point as B. So with what velocity this ball has been thrown? So the velocity of the ball was 20 meters per second. So V is equals to 20 meters per second. So what will happen if you throw any object in the air? That will come back to the ground. Why that object comes back to the ground? Because there is an acceleration due to gravity that acts on the body. So because of that acceleration due to gravity, the body comes back to the ground. So when this happen, so he is asking how high will the ball rise. So if the body is thrown with a velocity 20 meters per second above this building, he is asking how high will this body will go, or will the ball rise, and how long will it be before the ball hits the ground. So how much time it has been taken to hit the ground. So now let this distance from the highest point of the body or the ball has reached to the ground be y. So if this distance is y, then what can be this distance from here to here? So that will be y minus y naught. If this is y naught, or this distance till here is y naught, then this distance will be y minus y naught. So the acceleration due to gravity is acting in this direction on the body. So G is given as 10 meters per second square. So now what is the initial velocity of the ball? It is 20 meters per second. So this is u, it is not v. So u here denotes the initial velocity. So when it reaches this point, the velocity of the body will become 0 and that comes back to the ground. So final velocity is equals to 0 meters per second. And now acceleration due to gravity is given as g. So g is acting in downward direction, hence we can take it as minus 10 meters per second square. Then which equation can be used? So you have u, you have v, you have a, and you have initial and final position, so that is y and y naught. So from this you can use the equation v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So now this equation can be written as v square is equals to u square plus 2a. S can be written as what? Y minus y naught. Since here we have denoted the displacement in terms of y, so we can write this as y minus y naught instead of x minus x naught. So now we know the final velocity of the body is 0. Initial velocity is 20 meters per second. So there is a square. So square plus 2. Acceleration due to gravity is 10 meters per second square. So we don't know what is y and what is y naught value. So let us keep these two terms as usual. So now this is 0. If this is 0, so we need not to worry about this. So this is 20 square minus 20 y minus y naught. So if you bring this 20 to left hand side, 20 y minus y naught is equals to 20 square. So y minus y naught will be what? It will be 20 meters. So y minus y naught will be 20 meters. So let us continue this problem in the next class.